the high jump lava dive that we've already talked
Yeah,
about.
and you would have to right side here in Bubble Mountain as well. Or unless you, I mean, if you're coming to the safe station, you wouldn't need to. But oh wait, no,
No, they're not going up there.
Ignore me. Ignore me.
Well, it is a multi-category tournament. You know, we're gonna see runners. Yeah, Cross. What are you doing, Cross?
Well, Cross is going up there.
I was about to say you might see runners forgetting what. Oh, he wanted that super.
That's
It's a pretty much nearly guaranteed super. So I'm not. I mean, it's a good place to get one, but he's gonna farm up here anyway.
Yeah, he's coming in here anyway. I don't.
So yeah. I'm not sure. But I was starting just to say that you might see some of these runners forget what category they're doing, because we got all these categories. It's a multi-category tournament, so you're practicing all these categories.
Yeah,
and very easy to mix them up. Thank goodness we have things like live split to remind us what we're doing if we forget.
Just rolling in here. There's a couple bounce ball strats you can do that would speed this up, offer more health preservation, just faster. But the roll is nice and safe. You can get through it just.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
and crossproduct's turn.
Yeah, he's going to do the bounce rush like I was talking about. You can see he's through one bounce you preserve your speed, so you can get through this whole area pretty quickly. Yeah, so these are the two major reset points. You can save both times. The first save was in case he died at Lava Dive, and the second one is for the green gate glitch here coming up.
Yeah, the green gate glitch is one of the I consider it one of the most finicky tricks in this entire game. And what I mean by finicky is that, sometimes you have it and you get it first try, no problem, or within the first couple of tries. But I've seen really, really good runners that that strat just goes away. It just disappears and they could just go 50 supers without getting it. And you see Junie getting on there's Junie gets on the first try, so very nice. Lays that power bomb to get those rippers out of the way. Also gets a nice health refill, although he's not going to need it in just a second. Let's see how Cross does on his green gate glitch.
So here we're actually going to see the glitch right here.
Okay. I like the way Junie rolled in. So one of the tricky things in here is that, as he pauses, he has to turn that spacer off. So when you roll in, if you fire a shot before you turn off that spacer, that's a really good way to end your run, because the game doesn't like it when you have both those beams on.
Yeah, it's not too, it's a pretty wide window once you just sit down and figure it out. But that's a nice safe strat to do that. I never even actually thought about that in all of my 2 GT classic runs.
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
There's two ways to play that safe. One is to roll in, and the other one is to just have your ammo set to missiles. That way you won't accidentally fire a shot.
Yeah, so my first GT Classic run was actually completed without screw attack because it turns out not only does the GT code give you items, but it takes them away. So I picked up screw attack on the way in.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that's actually a really important point. The GT code gives you everything but screw attack. And yeah, if you pick up screw attack, it's going away.
Yeah,
not sure why it worked that way, but I mean, there's all sorts of questions. If we could get the developers to answer them, would be super interesting.
You may actually be saying, look, well, they don't have grapple or X-ray either, obviously, but they actually do. It just doesn't. The code to draw the items is based on when you pick them up. So they do actually have it. It actually makes your menuing a little bit weird because they have to remember they have those, and you actually still have to menu through them. And at least X-ray will be used for some of the bosses later on. Grapple is not really going to be seen though.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I could see anyone ever using grapple for in this situation is to farm right before Ridley. But I mean, you got 20 supers, you got the full beam combo. You should not need to farm.
Yeah, generally not. The only reason I expect to see grapple is if they screw up their menuing and try to fire.
Yeah, that's another one.
That's when we'll see it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is one of the I always just talk about Lower Norfair as one of my favorite areas of the game because it's just such a variety of situations you can put yourself in. So this is one of the super safe, I've got everything Lower Norfairs. It's just fun to go through as opposed to some of the lesser amount, like when we get to RBO and Low Ice, and I hope we get to see some runs of those in this tournament. You're going to see the less safe versions of Lower Norfair. I think that's like any percent, which is kind of in between.
Yeah, any percent's fairly safe in Lower Norfolk because you have the full beam. If you're doing great first,
yeah.
PRKD is pretty dangerous.
Yeah. PRKD, when you think about it, isn't that different? I mean, the Ridley fight's 60 shots instead of 200, so that's a thing that's important. But it's still a pretty, still a pretty dangerous area for that.
Cross again showing off some. I've never seen anyone use a microwave to kill the
You see
metal
that on
pirates.
occasion. You're not going to see it too much in any of these categories, but I've seen it in randomizer on occasion. It'll be a nice, cozy 20 shot Ridley here.
Yeah, they do have the option of the highest DPS you can do on Ridley is with the supers, and they have just a relative ocean of supers here. So we may see them, especially if it really goes into Pogo. It does make your counting really hard. Ridley is kind of hard to figure out when Ridley actually dies, because Ridley won't die until Ridley picks you up. So generally you're counting to 20. So to actually make the supers, it's actually difficult on the full beam fight to make the supers faster.
Yeah, one thing you could do that if you just wait for Ridley to turn that more pinkish color, the darker color, then just firing off 15 supers at that point, or even I think actually 14 would do it at that point, because it's just over 50% damage at that point.
Man, Cross is going to take the lead here over the strength of his Ridley fight. That's really nice.
Yeah, very nice. And nice D-boost to get out. I always like that play.
And Joonie showing off that the hardest part of the Ridley fight is leaving the room. So at this point, again, for the same reason that kind of like the way PRKD is, right, where you're trying to hit all the bosses and kind of like in a straight order, we're going to be doing the same thing here. We're just going to be going straight up, and we can just kill Dragon and Fantoon as we're going up, and then it's a pretty easy jaunt over to G4 to finish the.
Yeah, it's nice. This is, I believe, the one vanilla category where we actually get to do microwave strats on Dragon and Fantoon, and Botloon for that matter, since we are going to see a Botloon fight here. That's pretty much required in most categories.
Yeah, some players will do it in RBO if they pick up the X-ray. But yeah,
that is an option in RBO to pick up X-ray. Do an X-ray climb out of the Ridley. Sorry, the crater. Sorry. Let me get my bosses right. Dragon. That's the word you use the X-ray climb if you're going to use it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can't even use it on Dragon there because you need to do all the crystal flashes to actually be able to get out of Dragon at that point.
Okay, the Three Musketeers, no problem when you have screw attack.
Yeah, the screw attack, it takes a little over 7 seconds to pick up because of the fanfare, plus just a little like movement efficiency. I think like even a perfect task situation, it may even be better to skip it because it doesn't really save you that much time, but definitely makes your life way easier. So like even like world record picks it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you could manage to do everything perfect without screw attack, then yeah.
Yeah, like you'd literally have to be a Taz to save time by skipping screw.
All right, and Cross, the first one out of Norfair, lengthening his lead a little bit.
Yeah, and I can't even say there was anything necessary that like Ginny did wrong. Just a little bit of a sloppier Ridley fight.
Yep.
And that Cross was able to pass him.
All right, always nice to actually have space jump in Meridia. The space jumping works much better underwater. And you know, in the regular game, like this was always my least favorite part of the game when I played it casually because I couldn't wall jump, and those grapples with the intended grapple strats are just the absolute worst.
Yeah, that, and when you're playing it casually and you're exploring, you tend to go in a couple more of those sandpit rooms, which is just absolutely terrible.
The worst.
Yeah, crossproduct with the mock ball.
Oof, I
That
love
mock
mock
ball
balls.
is incredibly difficult.
I just love mock balls. I think it's the coolest bit of tech we have in this game. It just looks so smooth when they do it, and you know whether they intended them or not by the developers, I don't care. I think those are just the best, you know. And
Yeah,
I'm glad we can do them.
I tend to fall on the side they are intended because the window, like if it was like a glitch thing, you'd expect it to be like a one frame window or
Yeah,
something like
exactly.
that. The fact that it's fairly wide.
And that's the Blinky Miss Bot Wound fight because we're using microwave strats. So you might want to keep your eyes open for Junie as he goes into his bot wound fight. Because the game doesn't really intend you to have Plasma Beam here. So when you have Plasma Beam for some of these bosses, funny things happen, and you can microwave them like that.
Cross going for the full halfie and did the old didn't jump in the next room, which is honestly probably
That's a
the most
hard trick.
frustrating way to fail. It's one of those tricks that like it's hard, but it's all it is just having good movement in this room. If you have clean wall jumps and you have a clean down grab, the
Yep.
only tricky part is really opening the door cleanly so you don't bonk. But it's one of those things that just as your movement gets a lot better, it becomes pretty straightforward to do.
Yeah, you're not going to lose much time failing it in this situation because you're just going to just space jump across anyway.
Yeah, which is what
And
Junie just opted to do.
and it's one of those things where it's not going to cost you for trying for it, so no reason not to go for it. And Cross just makes very quick work of Dragon. Again, blink and you miss it, and we'll see the same thing on Junie's side.
Yeah, having X-ray here is pretty much the only way to make this faster than the standard shine strat.
Actually, I think the quick grapple is faster than the Shine Sparks, but yeah, that's actually a pretty difficult strat. Depending on the goops pattern, I guess that's a really good point.
If you can do like the 2 shine strat, the strat's still faster than but it's incredibly difficult. So
yeah,
if you can't do that strat, then just go into the quick grapple is not a bad option. But then of course you're at the mercy of RNG as well.
Yeah, because you gotta wait for the goop to come. If it doesn't come right in that first swoop, then or right after the first swoop, then you might be waiting a while. Okay, now we're gonna see them book it right on out of here. It is faster to go out of Meridia and up towards the Red Tower area than it is to go through Forgotten Highway. Despite some thoughts to the contrary, but no, it's definitely faster to go this way, so they're going to do that. And hopefully they remember to go kill Phantoon. We did have a rather infamous or famous fight between Sloters and Andrew in the last multi-category tournament where Sloters decided, I don't need to kill Phantoon. Got G4 and whoops.
Yeah, it's like forgetting Kraid in RBO is another classic.
Yep. Which our one of our organizers, Farrell, is rather famous for.
This is a really close race. Honestly, Phantoon patterns
could make a difference here.
Might start swinging it here, which is not something you would expect. I mean, Phantoon pattern. There's
yeah. Well, if you do it right,
Phantoon is not getting to a second.
Let's hope not, because if because it's the microwave on Phantoon is the hardest one because you do have to shoot a missile to open the eye in the first place, and then you do the microwave strat. So we hope that neither one of these goes to a second pattern.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of difficult things to do here. We're pretty much down to Phantoon, and then like Turian is going to be a difficult segment no matter what. So that could also be making it.
Yeah, Turian doesn't change too much. The most volatile thing in the rest of the run, honestly, is stand-up glitch. Stand-up glitch is a little more tricky, and I expect both of these guys to go for it. Because your total energy is 700. It's not 799. So
yeah, I'm not sure why Junie went for the shine there. I mean, he's got space jump.
I know. And running into well, it's shine sparks typically aren't just because of the crash animation.
Yeah, especially for such a short short
Yeah.
shine like that.
Whereas if you can get a space jump from your run speed, that's just super fast. And
I mean,
I
if you,
wish this game had more strats where space run speed into space jump was a thing. That's just one of my favorite strats.
yeah, we can get short charges in a lot of places, but it doesn't actually give us the full speed for
Yep, that's
those
right.
type of space jumps. So the only place we can actually get those are the places the developers intended us to get, like shine sparks, which is
Yep.
surprisingly not a lot.
We can get one out of the wreck ship. We'll see if either one of them does that. And it looks like Cross didn't quite get that first round kill. So Junie's gonna get a chance to catch up here.
Yeah, not only, I mean, also Cross let Fantoon get into a rain phase, which is effectively an extra round as it is.
Yeah, Junie's gonna take the lead here, having finished up Fantoon much quicker. And yeah, the invisible phase, which can also has a fast mid and slow, just like the regular phases. And that looked like a slow invisible phase for him, so kind of double punish there.
Yeah, effectively being like a 3 round for Cross. That's he's gonna be kicking himself for that one. I think that's a unfortunate place to lose the lead. But yeah, this this run's almost over. This is a nice quick one. Yeah, just going for the shine.
Yeah, this is actually where you can really get if you can get that run speed into the space jump. It's just really neat. Looks like Cross is also going to go for the shine spark though.
Yeah, it's only the space jump is only a little bit faster than the shine. And it's also very tricky. So
It
just going
is
for
a
the
tricky
shine.
strat to get, but it is a fun strat.
Yeah,
I
I
always
mean,
go for it just because it's fun. Like forget the faster bit.
not only do you have to jump cleanly through the door, it's pretty
Yep.
easy to bonk on
Yep.
that stuff in West Ocean.
But we are really, really close here. So Junie having a slight lead here, but there are a lot of things that could change that. So a lot of things that we're close enough that it's just not guaranteed
A baby skip right now would swing this.
for sure. Very nice speed vault into the
Yeah, that's a
key handler room.
pretty tricky strat actually. So nice job.
And now we get to contemplate life for a few seconds as we watch the G4 statues break themselves. In fact, the runners are in that room at the same time. This is really close.
Yeah, there's not a lot of cutscenes. In fact, this category really only has this one cutscene. The other one you generally see is the bowling cutscene.
Yeah, and the one in the mother brain fight, the ones in the mother brain fight. But we're gonna see stand up glitch,
true.
so those while they're still there, since we can actually do stuff during them, they will it won't be quite as bad.
You still have some time to kill before you can actually start shooting. So just a shorter cutscene.
Yep. Junie with a much better health going into this. Both ammo is just not even a question though. 97 and 90 super regular missiles, 16 supers each. We're good to go.
Yeah, Cross may be in the situation if he does get baby skip, may not actually be able to do stand up based on what the drops he gets.
That's a really good point.
The Metroids do drop you a bunch though, so we'll see here. And you're not too worried about your super count here because you do come in with a bunch.
Yeah, and they do get 3 filled up reserve tanks that they can use to. They can and almost always will.
That's not going to be enough for Cross right now.
It will be now, but yeah, at the time he came in, it wouldn't have been so.
Okay, I'm slightly behind. And I don't think either of them took off screw attack coming down the elevator. If you're going to do it, you would do it there, I would think. The problem with screw attack is if you can't really do some of the grouping strats in here, although they just both opt not to do them, and then it does screw up the normal like Zeb skip that you'll see. Because screw attack gets rid of your iframes. That's what you're relying on to get through the Zebs.
Yep.
So they can either go for like a down back skip or the speed skip, or they can just turn off screw attack. So we'll see what they choose.
Or there is the new strat they were seeing. There is the spring ball Zeb skip. Although you don't actually technically need to have spring ball for it. It's just supposed to be much easier that way. Where you actually shoot out the first Zeb, and then Junie gets caught by the baby. Let's see what happens to Cross. This could be big.
Yeah.
Ooh, if he
Ooh.
can get this. Oh, he's
Cross
still gonna be a
is-
little behind, but he might get this. Oh, and now, oh my god, we are so close now.
Yeah, Cross is going to take the lead because he can go ahead and skip this.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they both shot the stuff at the top. Not only is it like causes a bunch of lag, which is obviously slow. I just like it makes it more difficult in my opinion because it's the baby skip is such a rhythm-based thing that it makes it challenging. And I'm shocked Cross was able to save that. I thought he was going to get grabbed on that first.
Okay, there you see Cross turning off both Varia and Screw Attack, so he's gonna go for stand up. He's gonna go for. Interesting that he sets up for his Zeb skip from below. Below always works. You need to have wave beam if you're gonna do it from above, the way Junie just did it.
Yeah, that could just be a side effect of Cross being so much right. He just learned if you just learn the one shot that always works, then you don't have to worry about. This is really really
gosh,
close.
So close.
Yeah.
This could come down to how well they do their stand-up glitch. Although Junie's gonna have to pop his reserve. Cross, if he can manage to not take damage, won't have to worry about his reserve.
Yeah, he won't be able. He can't take any damage at all. Generally, the things that will kind of do some chip damage on you is the bombs. There is ways of making sure with gravity, taking 0 damage from those bombs.
Okay.
And,
well, now we're even again.
Yeah. So stand-up glitch requires at minimum 700 health. It turns out that the GT Classic gives you literally 700 health exactly.
Yep.
So you can't take a single bit of damage without having to avoid.
Okay, interesting. Cross already popped the reserve because he managed
took
to
off
use the ball. He took.
Varia.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah, he did. Okay, so he's good.
Yeah, so he needed to survive this rainbow beam.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so oh my god, so this is okay. First part of stand up handled. He's gonna damage himself down, and then he needs to be in the air for this part. And you'll see Junie will do the same thing.
Stand up is not a difficult thing to do. There's just it is like the land of soft locks.
Yep.
So you just have to know what you're doing. The one other difficult, especially with just 7 E-tanks, you have to keep an eye on when the baby detaches from Samus.
Yes.
Because if it detaches early, it'll be a soft lock and they'll have to reset.
Yeah.
So this is definitely one of the more dangerous stand-up glitches that you'll see.
Yeah. Oh, probably GT Classic's got to be the most dangerous stand-up glitch that
yeah.
you're gonna see for sure. Yeah. The key things there are a couple places where you have to be in the air. Right where the baby leaves is one of them. So you see they both manage to be in the air, and then you have to make sure you're not shooting when the baby dies. Otherwise, that's another way to soft lock. X-ray can get you out of some soft locks if you get caught stuck in the floor. But X-ray doesn't solve everything. So they do have X-ray, so that makes this a little bit safer. Okay, Cross, that's another danger.
What we're talking about.
If the baby detaches to you and stays detached, then but what can happen is that the mother brain cannot actually kill the baby, so you're just stuck there.
Yeah, he was able to re-grab the baby and move into a little bit better spot.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is 100% down to how cleanly escape goes, and we might see the ye olde fall down in parlor, making the difference here, or God forbid the ye olde climb of shame.
Yeah, that's a terrible one. And honestly, I mean, as well as they sync these things on SG's side, the timers you never know exactly how accurate these timers are. So we'll be watching the SRL page very closely to see who actually comes out on top here. It looks like Junie may have taken a bit of the lead, but I just realized this timer is actually a little bit ahead. So
yeah, this is with the missing time. I mean, it's only missing by like 2 seconds, but they are on top of each other.
That's how close they are, though.
I don't think Junie jumped through the door. No.
Oh, he didn't. That's the kind of thing that could make a difference.
I mean,
those little things, those little things.
It's like a second, but that's huge right now.
Yeah. Okay, does
Alright,
Cross get the shine spark?
I gotta bring
This
up
is
the
an important
SRL
moment.
page to figure out exactly where they are.
Yeah,
Because he signed
I
it
have
off.
it up.
Yeah, it looks like Cross has a little bit bigger lead than it actually looks like. So as long as he can get through Parlor, that heck Steam.
All right, Cross looks like he's gonna get there first.
And Junior gets steamed. Oh. God, every little steam is painful right now.
All right, Cross looks like he finished ahead, and indeed, Cross Product finishing in first place with official SRL time of 40:14. Junie finished only 7 seconds behind at 40:21. GG.
Yeah.
Wow, what a race.
Shoutouts to the slightly mistimed SRL. Made it the restream actually made it even more exciting at the end there. Yeah, that is a close race. That is, I mean, all the back and forth, the cross product, and it was like the bosses, right? It was Junie was ahead, Cross took the lead in the Ridley fight, Junie retook the lead on the Fantoon fight, and then it was Baby Skip, which was pretty much the difference.
All right, looks like we're gonna be able to get these guys in for some interviewing. That was such a great race. You got to talk about it afterwards.
It's the credits are only off by a couple pixels here.
That was absolutely amazing. So glad I managed to. I wasn't sure I was gonna be able to join you today, and so glad that I managed to be able to do this with you because
Yeah,
that was a fun race.
that was real close. It was back and forth too. So.
Alright.
Just they're hanging out.
Just
in the
waiting
setup.
for them. Yeah, just I could. Okay, here we go.
Hey.
Hey, Cross.
Yo, what's up? Oh,
Well,
man.
you know what? We haven't even talked about this. That's a PB for you, is it not? Like a big one.
Probably. I haven't recorded a run of this in a long time, and I think I actually my current recorded PB has 3 E-tanks, so it must be. That was probably my worst Fantoon fight, and probably my best baby skip and stand up.
How did you? I don't know how you saved that baby. Like you jumped, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, well,
it was really
that's-
close on
that's
the
over.
second jump. Oh man, that
Yeah,
looked bad.
the 3 things. So Junie was ahead, and welcoming in Junie. GG's.
Hi. Thank you.
The
cross product.
GG, man.
the lead changes. So the first lead change. So Junie had the lead going into Lower Norfair, but then, and you both executed very well up until that point. And then Junie had a little bit more trouble in the Ridley fight. So Cross, you took the lead.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
my
then Cross
Ridley
had a
fight's
little more
terrible.
trouble with the Fantoon
That's
fight.
fine. My Fantoon fight is terrible.
And then so Junie took the lead, and then Baby Skip.
I was trying to X-ray Fantoon, and he spawned on top of me, and I'm like, and he knocked me up into the air, and you can't use X-ray while you're in the air, so I actually despawned him, and like I missed every freaking missile trying to get him on the eye. It was a terrible Fantoon fight.
What a jerk.
Yeah,
I did take a peek at the restream while I was in G4. I just brought the restream up to see who was ahead at that point, and I saw, I think Junie was in Terminator and I was in Ship, so I was 2 rooms behind, right? And I was thinking, I was in G4 thinking, all right, if I get Baby Skip, I got a shot at this race.
Yep.
So like, I had to. Oh my gosh, dude, that's so close.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I failed Baby Skip. So.
Yeah, actually, Cross ended up passing you. Basically, when you went into the refill room.
Yep.
Oh,
so
that's
like,
fantastic.
you were in the same post Baby Skip room at the same time. You were going left to refill, and Cross was able to just go straight across.
Oh man,
and it was
that is so cool.
Yeah,
dude, I had to tap into my reserves for stand up, but my stand up was so good. Like I kind of chickened out at the end. I could have gotten a couple more shots in, but I ended up with like 4 hyper beam shots, which I think is probably one of my best. So
both of you, nailed the stand-up glitch. I didn't. The escape was pretty equal. A little bit of into the lead ox room jumping in there was a little cleaner on your part, Cross, but not a whole lot of difference otherwise. So, yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah, especially because it's back and forth too. We're with several lead changes in the like the big areas.
Yeah,
Like
I wonder
if
if
you
most
guys-
of the
Motorwatch is back.
Hope
yeah,
you
I
guys
haven't.
had fun commentating. Hope the chat had fun
Oh,
watching.
it was a good one.
Oh
And
man.
all right, so
Yeah,
I'm just
definitely.
glad. I'm just glad I got Craig quick kill because.
Yeah,
It's funny
you
because
did.
Junie and I made a deal before the race started in the SRL chat. He said he would miss Craig quick kill if I died in lava dive, and
Mhm.
it seems like both of us betrayed that bargain. So
We
that's
did, yeah.
yeah, well, nice lava dives. Only 3 supers between the two of you for the gate glitch, so that's always another good
Nice.
point.
Did
So.
Junie save at all?
Yeah, you
guys
both
did.
save. You
You
both
both
save.
Yeah.
you did the same 2 saves, the pre-lava dive and the GG.
I didn't save pre-lava dive. I went
Okay.
up to farm a
Oh,
super
you-
pistol off the
yeah.
cack attack. I didn't
Yeah,
save it.
that's right. That's
We were
right.
trying to figure out why you did that.
Yeah,
Then,
Yeah,
Because then you
went
still did the farm room.
anyways. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I didn't want to have to depend on drop RNG. It probably wasn't very.
And your
smart.
drop energy was
Like it
so bad.
probably is like 2 or 3 waves worth of red flies. The amount of time it took me to go up to the cack attack, but I've had 2 or 3 waves of red flies and not gotten a super miss. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I tried to normalize it a little bit.
speaking of farming, Junie, we were kind of wondering why early on you were very conscious of your energy.
Oh, I don't know.
We thought maybe you were
Like-
gonna go for high jump list. So
Yeah.
No. It's I never farm in Hellway, and I don't know. For some reason, I thought, you know what? Let me just farm, get my health up, and then I ended up falling in all the vile plumes anyway. So
Well, it wasn't even just farming and it was like because you did the missile strat on the pirates, and then like you went out of your way for help from the CAC, and we're just like, is he gonna skip the E tanks and just go for it? Because
yeah, I
like
don't know.
otherwise you're just gonna E tank and you're gonna fill up. So we were
There's really no reason. Just malfunctions in the brain, whatever.
yeah. Oh, and
it happens. I know that feeling.
it's kind of that's close to being the difference in this race too, which is just nutty.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So-
GG.
Yeah, it was a great race.
GG, Junie. Thanks for the
moving
race. Thanks for
on.
letting me ban Hundo.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for banning Hundo. Thank you
Yeah,
for only making me have to do this for 40 minutes.
But okay, so let's talk about the next race. Now we don't know; it's gonna be a while before we have any idea who your opponent is, because that's the way Swiss works. But let's go ahead and see what the next set of categories is. And you'd think I would know this being an organizer, but I don't. So we're just gonna find it and pull it up. Okay, week 3 we got RBO, any percent, and triple bingo. So what are you all looking to run next week? Unless you want to, not share it in case someone's watching that might be.
Yeah,
your
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I know what I want.
I wonder which one you want.
Which one do I want?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a toss up between one of those 3.
Well, okay, let's talk more in general terms about how you feel about those categories in general, and don't have to be any specifics in terms of whether you like them or dislike them.
Okay,
they're all
what was it? Triple bingo, RBO, and any percent?
Any percent, yeah.
Okay, well, I've done a couple any percent runs recently, so that's good. RBO, I think, is fun. I haven't done one in a really long time, so I might want to practice that. And I've never actually done triple bingo. I've done some dab, but I've never done
Triple bingo looks like a different beast from what we saw the first week. How about you, Jim?
Yeah.
Between triple bingo and dab, or
Yeah.
okay.
How often has the triple bingo been chosen?
Not very. We had a whole lot of any percent in week 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably the same as Cross. Like I also haven't done a triple bingo. And RBO is fun. And what's the other one?
Any percent.
Oh, any percent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably gonna see a lot of 80% next week would be my guess, but I'm hoping for some RBO action, a little more triple bingo action.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I might, if RBO isn't vetoed, I might, do it just for fun.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, just have to set aside 12 hours for that one. I think my RBO, I would definitely have under 3 hours on RBO. I don't remember if I have under 2 or not.
You do actually. You have a 147. I was worried you were
Oh.
faster than mine for a second. I think I got like 3 minutes still. We're fine.
Okay. 140, that's pretty good. That's probably
Yeah,
good.
that's a good time for RBO.
It's
RBO
good for
being
somebody that doesn't actually like run RBO.
yeah.
147 is like you only had minimum disasters. Like,
yeah,
not no
you're,
disasters. Not quite no
I mean, you're not being
disasters,
zenny with that run with that time, but you
yeah,
know.
that's definitely going into Meridia before Lower Norfair. I don't remember whether or not it went all the way to Botswoon. I honestly like I like going to Meridia for the super missiles more than for the energy tank.
Absolutely. Those super
Yeah.
missiles are important. They're huge.
You can also, yeah.
I wonder
If
if
you do
I
that, you
should
can
get a.
cheat.
Oh man, never mind.
I have a feeling I know where you're going, but you want to keep it a secret, so I won't say. Yeah, no, I know exactly where you're going with that, with where you were going, where you were starting. So yeah, we won't say anymore.
Okay.
But if people know you, they're gonna know exactly where you're
RBO,
going too. So
I'll do it. If I draw RBO, I'll do it.
okay, I'm gonna hold you to that.
It's still fun.
It can be. It can also be really frustrating.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else either one of you want to add before we end this? Before we end this and talk about what's going on tonight?
No, I think I've said everything I want to say.
Nah, man. I think I want to watch this one back like immediately. So
Yeah, same.
all right.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
nice quick watch at least.
Yeah, and good luck. Good luck in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
All right.
Thanks for commentating, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next mission.
Alrighty.
And ditto later.
Okay, so we do have a couple more matches tonight. A really interesting one we have at 9 o'clock. We have a real cutie versus Hero 82. Cutie being a really, really good runner. Gotten some really good times. I think he's now third or fourth in any percent, which is saying
fourth.
something. Yeah,
he's fourth. He's real close to the third.
Yeah, I mean, he's really been pushing that any percent, but he doesn't get to play any percent this week. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what category gets run there and how that goes. And he'll be playing Hero 82, who's a very solid runner in his own right. And then at 10 o'clock tonight, and first one will be on SpeedGaming 2. At 10 o'clock, we have Balthazar versus Gameaholic. That'll be on SpeedGaming 3. So that's what we got going tonight. Keep an eye out on the schedule. We do have matches coming up the rest of the week, and more matches to be scheduled. So make sure you keep an eye on that schedule.